Welcome to DM Prep. My name is Ian, and I'll be your DM for today. Today, we're prepping episode 19 of the Gilded Troll Plays CoS Ep.19, and I have Steph.
Hi, I'm
She's-
Irina.
She's a player,
Yeah.
but she's a...
We're an NPC PC. It's
You're
fine.
an NPPC, non-player
I
player
don't
character.
want PP in my name.
You don't want PP? Okay. So Steph is playing Irina, and we've been working together pretty consistently over the last, like 3 months. You've been Irina?
Has it been that long?
It's been a long time.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been a long goddamn time that you've been playing Irina. So the reason Steph is here today with me on DM Prep is because we're going to plan her death. We're going to kill her. It's nice knowing you. So we're trying to find a way to kill Irina in such a way that serves the story.
Right.
We've been foreshadowing it for a while, that it's this endless cycle. The Dark Powers demand that Irina dies just as soon as Strahd decides to make his move and, take her for himself. And that has clearly happened. I'm gesturing vaguely at the screen. But, Rahadin has shut up. And, Jesus, you can't see fucking anything because the GM overlay is too
I think
opaque.
at this point, Irina has also completely served her purpose.
Yeah, no, she's absolutely served her purpose. So the original reason that we actually had Steph play Irina was that our party was a little aimless. They weren't really sure how to interact. I'm going to slide the camera over back to the center because I'm just going to, yeah. The party was a little aimless. They were a little rambunctious, and I wanted a player who knew Curse of Strahd to be able to just sort of give them a little bit of flavor and a little bit of grounding to make them to essentially make it more gothic horror. Because I thought the players were taking a little too silly of an attack. So we're at the Ember Temple. We've cleared out pretty much the entire thing, and Rahadin showed up, and he demanded the release of Irina into his custody so that he can deliver her to Strahd. Players are like, no, we're just gonna sneak out the back.
Which is actually a very not combat way to deal with
no,
it.
Yeah. Generally a really good plan, other than the fact that Rahadin's not an idiot and knows that there are other entrances. I think that that's justified because Rahadin comes here pretty frequently. If you look up the special events, Rahadin's prayer says he kneels before the great statue. The Arcanoloth and Flameskulls don't attack other visitors until Rahadin's killed or leaves. He's here a lot. He has this ritual that he does. I think it's yearly. He petitions the Dark God into releasing his master from his torment. Yeah, really neat.
That's kind of sweet of him.
Right? Rahadin really loves Strahd. It's probably the
Rahadin could help.
He very well may help them. That might be a thing that happens. Maybe.
There's no way.
I mean, if the players go, you're an asshole and I hate you, Rubeck does hate Rahadin, yes. Rahadin is also a genocidal maniac,
right.
So...
Well, there's no reason you can't get him to help you and then just kill him later, but...
Well, other than the rage about the genocide. Get the fuck out of here, email. Jesus Christ. So yeah, as they're trying to sneak out the side door, over here, there's just this ominous figure wearing full plate mail. And I didn't even tell them how tall they were. I didn't tell them their gender. I just said full plate mail and a greatsword.
Who the fuck are they?
And the reason for that is I have no fucking clue who it is. So my plan, my idea at the table was that it was going to be one of Sly Flourish's Vampire Blood Knights. So Sly Flourish, great blog. Sly Flourish put out a bunch of different types of vampire. So there's a CR1 feral vampire, there's the CR5 bonded vampire, which is like... I'm not entirely sure what the difference is. Apparently it screams instead of biting you. That's neat. Vampire, Assassin, Duelist, Mage, and then the Blood Knight, which is like the big one.
They actually played and shit.
The Blood Knight?
Yeah.
Plate mail shield.
Wow.
So, I mean, I guess they have a long sword instead of a great sword, but whatever.
Yeah.
I just really like the image of, like, leaning on a fucking great sword that's just planted in the ground, so I went with that. But, like, at the table, I was like, okay, well, Rahadin's not dumb. He would have brought help. He brought a Blood Knight. And yeah, like that was my idea at the table. But now I'm wondering, who the fuck is this Blood Knight? Because that was literally the question my players asked, I think as soon as we stopped rolling. I think as soon as we cut the stream, the players were like, who the fuck is that guy?
Ezek.
Maybe Ezek, maybe fucking Strahd. I don't know.
I don't think Strahd would come.
I don't think Strahd would come himself, no. Because he knows that the closer he gets to Irina, the more likely it is that she dies. So he wants to keep his distance as long as he can until she's safe.
Okay. What they actually find out about Ezek? I know they missed a lot of information about him.
They found out very little about Ezek.
Is it worth giving him something?
Well, so here's the thing. It's not Ezek. And I'll tell you why.
I like that idea.
Okay,
cool.
But Ezek, it's not Ezek. So Ezek didn't just come back from the dead. One of the revenants that they killed at Argon Vostholt, his soul just found a body, and that body happened to be Ezek's.
Got it.
There's a table in Curse of Strahd for, like, you know, who, like, where the revenant regenerates, and I rolled a PC or NPC who has died, and it was Ezek. And then another one was a corpse in the Vallaki graveyard, and I was like, ooh, that one's Milovaj, because they just buried him.
Oh, okay.
Simulacrum of Strahd, can he do that? No, he cannot. So Strahd Strahd has access to all of the magic in the world, but he is a middling wizard at best. He is only capable of casting 5th or lower level spells. Simulacrum is a 7th level spell. So I think it is fairly central to Strahd's personification that he is not a gifted wizard. He's just an okay wizard. He is a gifted strategist. He is a gifted fighter. He's not a gifted wizard. He is a wizard, just not a gifted one. So Simulacrum, no. Also, I don't think... If Strahd were able to create simulacra of himself, he would have tried that in the past. And it would have failed. And he would have figured out, okay, I can't do that. That's not a thing that works. So let's not try that again.
So who else could you have that's working for Strahd?
I mean,
he would have...
It could be literally any number of his brides, not all of whom are female. I could just say it's Escher.
I don't remember who Escher is.
So Escher is Strahd's bride, male bride. All of Strahd's...
That's not the flesh golem, is it?
No, that's Vasilka.
That's Vasilka.
Escher's the one who is afraid that Strahd is getting bored of him. So he is motivated to do anything that he thinks Strahd might want of him. So, I mean, that could work.
You portrayed him the first time as very, like...
Yeah, he's also very effete.
So, would that... Well,
is that,
you can make him anything.
Am I using that word correctly? Affected, over-refined, and ineffectual. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I got it. Okay. I'm using words good. I don't think Escher is a bad idea. Honestly, I don't think it's super important who it is. The main thing is that whoever it is who's standing here is just going to yell out, they're running down the side tunnel, blah, blah, blah. Essentially, this person just exists to get Rahadin's attention and foil their escape attempt. Because I'm sorry to say, I needed to railroad them into this so that Irina can die. So the way that I've been imagining the way that this can go over the last several days. And I think one way or another, the players kind of need to lose a fight. They are beyond beat down. They have maybe 2 spell slots, no hit dice, maybe 100 hit points among them. They're wiped. They're spent. They're just out of stuff. Mm-hmm. Except for Irina, who all of her resources are short rest.
Most of Snark's are too.
That's not untrue. Yes, he does have action surge. He does have second wind.
Inej is mostly
Inej doesn't... Well, no, Inej is leaning fairly hard into spellcasting. She doesn't have Shadow Blade. She does have Booming Blade. She, she's a cleric.
Right.
She's an arcane trickster. She took a level in cleric, so a good chunk of her power is spellcasting, and she's out of it. Elodie has like a 1 4th level spell slot that I think she was planning on twinning polymorph.
Before this, yeah.
But since she's right in the middle of combat, with as few hit points as she has, there goes polymorph. And Rahadin's master is a wizard. He knows kill the spellcaster to make their spells go away.
Here's the other thing, though. You were planning on killing Irina as soon as they exited the Amber Temple, so they need to not die in here.
Right. Yeah, no. So here's the thing. I was going to defeat them, but not kill them.
Yeah, yes.
Rahadin doesn't want to kill these people. He doesn't care about these people. He's just here to get Irina. So once they're no longer a threat, they are no longer a threat. They're not a problem anymore.
It's not a problem anymore.
Thank you.
No one knows what that's from.
That's
guaranteed.
fine. That's fine. You do. So my two plans that revolve around beating them were, number one, knock everyone unconscious except Irina and then take her by force. Or knock most of them unconscious, see that it is a very losing fight, and then Irina says, if I go with you, please spare them. Or the other thing is that I need them to be leaving here I need them to actually leave the Amber Temple very injured. This seems like a decent way. I'm actually starting to realize at this moment that I really didn't need to stop them at the door, and I could have just let them get away. Because really the only thing that I need to happen is I need Irina to be traveling down Solanka Pass with very few hit points. And the reason for that is my plan for killing her is to use Sangzor, the blood goat.
I'm trying to see where Irina is at in terms of hit points.
You can always reduce them.
No, because they're gonna know, because everyone is so low right now. 17.
I mean, that's pretty fucking low.
Well, then have this...
Bloodhorn.
You can just have this plated guy not engage them in combat then. And
I
be
could
like
have
some
it-
sort of ominous, like...
I could literally just
Go
have...
this way.
Yeah, I could literally just have it be an illusion, or actually someone who wants to help them. It could be, actually, on that note, it could be Vladimir fucking Horngard.
Is that the guy that was an illusion on the bridge?
No.
No.
The guy who was an illusion on the bridge was actually Strahd.
Oh,
I don't know why that illusion is there.
that's weird.
Oh. Here we go. The Cloaked Rider is a manifestation of Strahd von Zarovich, a grim warning to proceed no further.
But it's not... Oh, I thought it was conjured by something.
It's just there. Yeah, it's just kind of there.
Okay.
But it could be one of the... it could be Godfrey Gwillem or Vladimir Horngard of the Knights of the Silver Dragon.
Okay.
And it could even be like, as they, so my players are expecting to have to fight this dude. They really are. They're expecting to have to murder this dude like right now. And it would be really nice for them. I think that they would really appreciate if the session starts and that expectation is subverted and they're like, oh, thank God they're helping us. And then this guy says, be quiet. I will distract him. You run. Something like that.
I think the reason you wanted them down, though, was so no one could try to protect or bring Irina back.
So the reason
you didn't introduce how you're gonna do it yet.
I just kind of did. Sangzor, Sangzor, the blood goat or the blood horn. There we go. So the idea is that as written, if the giant goat hits you and you fail your saving throw, then you just fall 100 feet. You take 10d6 damage, whatever. I'm going to have it be significantly farther than that. I've already described to them that Solanka Pass is a quarter mile above the Luna River.
Mm-hmm.
That's maximum fall damage.
Okay.
And more importantly, it takes more than a minute for them to fly to the bottom, which means Revivify does nothing.
Okay. Okay. And they have no way to get down there and back up safely.
Well, they can turn into ravens.
And what's at the bottom of the pass?
Your corpse.
My point is, if Gramps has like a Revivify left, where ravens retrieve me.
1 minute.
More
than a minute.
Got
Revivify only works for a minute, so if it takes them more than a minute to get down there,
Okay.
then your body's cooling, and cannot be revivified. None of them have Rave's Dead. Gramps has Reincarnate in 2 levels.
Right. And even if it takes more than a minute to get down there, he can't even fly Gramps down there or anything. Like Rubeck couldn't.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. The only thing they could feasibly do is, and this is the dumbest thing ever, but this would technically work.
Oh, God.
If they have sufficient hit points, they can just throw themselves off the cliff with the understanding that they will fall unconscious and not die, and then auto-crit a death save to wake up. That is something they could technically do. But I'm going to say that fuck 20d6 max fall damage. We're going to go with 40d6. They're going to die if they try it. Just die.
Okay.
That's... So yeah, so it says if no character has a passive perception of 16 or higher, but here's the thing, the dark powers don't give a shit about your eyes or your ears or anything, or your logic. They don't give a fuck. The dark powers can cast any spell ever. Do any of them have auto crits? That's a good question.
I know they're low on resources.
They're very low on resources. Let's go to Kurthithron.
I have a nat 20 as Irina that I need to use before this happens.
Oh, it's only a take 20.
Well, I need to save from the goat, right?
Yeah, it is. Well, no. So it's written as a saving throw, which is. Let's see. How does the giant goat work? Charge.
Oh God, that's
strength
weak.
saver. Yeah, I know, but that's silly.
Weak
Ram's
sauce.
a creature. If it fails its saving throw, it's sent tumbling down the mountainside. Instead of doing that, it's going to run at you and then use its attack to shove, which is a contest. I throw a take 20 at it. His strength is better than yours.
Okay.
He wins.
Okay. Yeah, the thing is, we need to make this seem... Yes, it's pre-written. Mm-hmm. But if we don't think everything through, it's going to feel really bad.
Yeah. So
them.
So here's a bit of advice. If you're going to script something in your D&D game, you need to think about it very, very hard, because players will do absolutely everything in their power to ruin that script. Everything in their power. And if you just say, no, that doesn't work, it'll feel scripted. It'll feel like shit.
We've had DMs in the past who have done that, and it always feels bad.
So you need to really think this stuff through so that it feels natural. So that it feels like a reasonable set of circumstances.
Yeah.
So on the topic of passive perception, Sangzor has the benefit of pass without trace, so his stealth is 10 higher and you need a passive of 26. Mm-hmm. None of them have that. None of them notice.
What's Gramps'?
22.
22.
It will be 25 next level.
Fuck. The other thing is there anything that can be summoned that would prevent me from falling? I worry about viewer summons.
So
it's not no. Combat. So
it is. It's sort of combat. It's kind of sort of combat. Initiative is going to be rolled. You're all surprised. He gets a turn. He shoves you.
I can pretend to use the nat 20 on initiative too.
You don't need to, because I can just take 20. I can just I have.
How much are you sitting on?
I have a crit.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's doable with the resources that are had.
And then what are you going to do after all of this transpires?
Do I need another crit? No, that's fine, Z. I wouldn't mind a take 20 so I don't have to spend a crit, because it's just an ability check.
Z just sliding into your DMs like, yo, what you need?
Well, no, people spend channel points while I'm doing DM prep.
Okay.
Like, Andy will just come on here and drop 5 cheerspirations for me during Odyssey prep. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
throw yourself off and cast polymorph on the way down.
What if something like
So
that
here's
happens?
so here's the thing. Steph wants Irina to die. Irina does not want Irina to die. So, oh cool, I gotta take 20 from Z. Thanks, Z.
I'm in on it. It's fine.
Yeah. Oh, and there's Amber. Thanks, guys. Those will probably be very useful.
Can I donate mine to you?
No.
It's a joke.
So it's kind of funny because my original plan was actually to get you... So my original plan was to get you guys to leave the Amber Temple with very, very little resources.
Which you did.
And then it seemed like that plan was failing because it looked like you guys were just going to bunk down for the night and get a long rest and get everything back. And then as you're leaving the next day, it's like, okay, well, she fell really, really far, but death saves, right?
Yeah.
So...
Yeah.
You can donate to him once I read it. Yeah, that's true. You can do that. You can use your channel points again. Yeah, as soon as you die, as soon as Irina dies, you just drop a summon.
Oh dear God, no, no, because
Yeah,
that would feel bad. That would feel bad.
Yeah, that would feel bad. But yeah, so yeah, so essentially, then there's some aftermath. There's sort of aftercare to do. I essentially need to make it very clear why Irina died. And I hope that I have foreshadowed her death sufficiently. I tried. I really did. In the last 2 sessions or so, yeah. Like, really hard. Like, talking about the cycle of Tatiana's death and reincarnation.
I think I'm the only one that really heard that over and
right.
over again.
But that's not my fault, and I can't do anything about
true.
Players not listening.
Snurk has attached himself
Yeah.
much more to Irina.
Yeah. This is true.
And I even said in the in-character channel, like, I feel like I'm cattle up for slaughter.
Yep. Yeah.
So if that sticks, then...
Yep. Yeah.
Are they just gonna massacre the goat?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They're gonna fucking murder the goat.
Does the goat talk to him at all?
No, the goat's gonna knock you off and then go, and they're gonna murder her anyway. Like, as soon as you go off the cliff, goat's just gonna be like, what?
This poor goat. Like, he didn't deserve this.
No, he didn't. But the Dark Powers needed a goat, so they got Sangzor.
Got it.
Now
we have 2 campaigns that'll hate goats.
So here's the alternative. Here's the alternative to the goat.
What the fuck is that?
That is a rock.
No, rocks aren't that big.
They are. They are gargantuan.
No,
yes,
shut the
they
fuck
are.
up,
They have a
really?
50-foot wingspan.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
What does it do? Pick me up and then drop me?
Pick you up and drop you off, which is, I think, exactly what it says it's supposed to do, like, during the fight. Attacks a random creature, snatching up a horse or mule if one's available. Otherwise, attacks a party member. It just attacks. It just attacks you.
I think the goat feels more frivolous, so it will feel worse once everything happens.
Wingspan 60 feet.
Yeah, I think the goat is the way to go. Not
In
this.
flight, a rock's wingspan spreads 200 feet or more.
Jesus.
That's bullshit.
Yeah,
That's...
No,
Like, this is 10 feet wide.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Let me...
Are you gonna measure his wings in the picture?
That's 5 feet wide.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, no, it is 10. They're 10-foot squares.
Oh, yeah.
That's like 70 or 80. Who did they decide was the mysterious figure leaning on the greatsword? I don't know yet. I think it's maybe one of the Knights of the Silver Dragon.
So he's just going to let them pass.
Who will help them escape by keeping Rahadin busy, rather than any kind of enemy who will fight them and make Rahadin aware. So honestly, I'm kind of regretting having put him there, but...
There's an easy fix because
there is an easy fix.
They're going to try to stay quiet first. They're going to wait for him to make a move first. As soon as he does, they will willingly take it. They're going to try to roll insight on him. They're going to try to figure out if he's lying, and they're going to absolutely trust him once someone crushes the insight check.
Yeah.
That's it.
And if they decide to fight him, then we go back to plan A, which was crush them in combat.
But then, if you crush them in combat, I don't know how Rahan just takes her away and they wake up in how many hours if they don't absolutely, like, fail their death saves? Or...
Yeah. They get crushed in combat. They go to death saves. One or more of them may die.
But then Strahd looks like the bad guy, not the dark powers if Rahan takes her.
Until they make their way down Solenka Pass, rushing after Irina. They make their way down Solenka Pass and they find the aftermath. And the aftermath is that Strahd has torn the goat to pieces and is now sobbing.
Oh. And then it's a flashback to, like, her throwing herself off the fucking tower or something then.
Pretty much.
Okay.
If you don't want it to be there, just make it some sort of illusion since nobody had a chance to investigate. That feels cheap to me. I did think about that.
That does feel cheap.
It feels a little cheap.
No, they were already at Argynvostholt. Like,
yeah.
they have already... Did they talk to anything there?
Nope. No. Esmeralda went upstairs and, by her admission, killed a bunch of revenants, but she actually just talked to them and, didn't murder anything. Illusion feels a little cheap. Okay, so if it's an illusion, number one,
they could see through it.
No.
Well, disbelieve the whatever. That's what I mean.
Okay, if it is an illusion, we need to... Oh, you like the idea of Strahd tearing the goat apart? I do too, but I also don't want to force a fight where they're supposed to lose. Because that's another thing that always sucks in D&D. Like, it always just feels bad.
With your current plan, the only thing that's even remotely being fudged is the fall damage.
Yes.
So that's not...
Honestly, I don't even need to fudge it if you just reduce your hit points, like,
I'm telling you, I guarantee someone has, like, checked my hit points at some point. Like one of the players have. I would not cheapen that part.
So the only reason I say that is currently you have 17 hit points out of 60. So the amount of damage you would need to take to die of massive damage is 77, and the average on maximum fall damage of 26 or 20d6 is 70. Not quite enough to instantly kill you. But if you reduce your hit points to 7, then the average is enough to kill you. But I can always just say, here, I'm going to roll a buttload of dice and 83 damage.
Right. That's all you need to do.
But I think it's better if I just don't announce to them how much damage you take. Irina falls off the cliff.
I cut my camera off.
No,
it needs that drama.
No. You cut your camera off when they find you. When they confirm that Irina is dead.
Yeah.
That's when you cut it off.
Do I act shocked the whole time?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to have to get drunk before this.
So yeah, I'm actually gonna... So Steph is gonna, like, drop off of the Zoom call, and I'm going to switch to a 5-player layout.
I can't wait to see Baelis's face, because Baelis has been calling for weeks now that Irina is going to turn on them. He's not expecting Irina to just
definitely need to give
die.
Steph reaction of, holy shit, that's a lot of damage, like you do when you glance over the and stuff. Yeah, so I'll just roll some dice and I won't announce it. But then you just, like, peek over and like...
Which is a normal reaction, because I just got pummeled.
Yeah, but, like, don't even pretend you know how much damage it is. Just be like, that's a lot of 6s.
I'll figure it out. Okay. I'll have 2 shots beforehand.
Okay. Get your acting chops.
I had to act for Rime of the Frost Maiden. No one knew until after the fact I had to act through all that. I thought it was relatively convincing.
Wait, did viewers know that?
I knew about Jesse's thing beforehand. I'm sorry.
I mean, I did too, but that was kind of part of the twist.
It's so it didn't implode. That's a conversation for another time.
That was the kind of thing that could destroy party cohesion. So we, Jesse wanted to run it by Steph so that they could plan
a decent reaction.
Vague sort of reaction, like Jesse sort of planned with me how he was expecting Ned to react, and I didn't tell him how Ned was actually going to react. Anyway, this is Curse of Strahd, not Rime of the Frost Maiden. So yeah, that's kind of the big thing for next session, is Irina's going to fucking die. Honestly, past that, I don't really care about prepping. I think seriously. What the fuck do you prep to follow that?
Well, no, I think you need to anticipate their next steps. Because even if they have something planned out now, this is going to shake them, and then what do they do next?
Their next step is probably going to be go to the castle and murder Strahd. Real talk. Because I don't know if they're I don't know if they're going to appreciate the gravity of what just happened, or the not the gravity, the minutia of what happened. And the finding Strahd weeping at finding Strahd weeping at the goat is only what happens if they get knocked out at the Ember Temple and Irina's taken away.
Rahadin can just hear. He can hear what happens, step out, and go, that wasn't supposed to happen.
Well, I mean, the goat's gonna it's like a mile down the road.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's not like right outside the fucking...
So do you want him to chase them?
He would give chase, yeah.
But then your armored buddy's there.
Well, so the idea is that if the armored buddy is friendly... Okay, so I'm going to let the armored buddy's identity be determined by the players. He is either Escher, Vampire Blood Knight, or Godfrey Gwillem of the Knights of the Silver Dragon, depending on how much of an asshole they are to him.
They're going to wait for his move, not the other way around. The players are so torn down, they will wait for the first
Here's
move.
the thing. Either one of those people would try to help Irina get away. Escher would want to personally deliver Irina to Strahd. Not Rahadin. He wants to personally deliver her. But if they're an asshole to him, it becomes Escher. If they're not an asshole to him, it's Godfrey. They don't even know who Godfrey is.
Yeah. But yeah, if Rahadin
But I have
somehow...
art of either of them.
Oh, okay. If Rahadin somehow chases them, knowing what happened, then you can have Rahadin reinforce it's like, yo, this isn't Strahd.
Yeah, so basically, if... Oh god, it's 4.5 miles down.
Yikes.
Yeah, no, like that's a while away. But essentially, like, if they're running away, so if it is Godfrey and he's holding Rahadin off while they flee, then eventually Rahadin gets the best of him and Rahadin catches up to them as they're like, what the fuck?
Right.
If they end up fighting and losing and Rahadin takes Irina away, then I don't know where Rahadin would be at that point. Well, if he takes Irina away, then he would have taken her in the carriage.
Right.
Which means the entire carriage is going over. Which means he's going over with it.
It's Steph.
It's Steph.
Hi.
Hi.
Mama.
So yeah, I'm kind of like planning 2, 3, 4-ish kinds of events that all end in Irina dying by being knocked off a cliff by a goat.
Yeah.
And the reason that I want to do that is I want it to be a neutral third party. It's not Strahd. It's not the players. It's the dark goddamn powers who are trying to punish Strahd for, daring to try to get Tatiana again.
And if they don't take that and they want to just bum rush Strahd,
Then,
they'll probably die, and that's where the story ends.
No, actually, if they try to bum rush Strahd, they'll fucking murder him. They'll
Really?
murder the fuck. They have the fucking.
Okay.
They have all of the artifacts.
Then they think they solved the problem. They don't do anything with anything they learned at the Emperor Temple, and the story just ends. Like, either way, it's,
right. Yeah, no, and that's why I'm saying, like, I'm not going to bother prepping for next steps, because they're going to drive it.
Yeah.
One way or another. They're going to ask themselves, well, fuck, what now?
Yeah.
And they're going to come up with an answer. I don't know what that answer is going to be, but I know what that answer could be. And also, I've prepped pretty much all of fucking Barovia. The only thing I haven't prepped is the castle itself, but I've run it before. It's a dungeon crawl. It's not exactly rocket surgery.
Yeah.
It is a very complicated fucking castle.
Very
it's
complicated.
insane.
Yeah.
But I have a big old fucking poster map, so I can just pull that out at the table and be like, yeah, you're going here, and you're going here, and you're going here. And then it's actually made really easy for me because Gramps, as a shadow, went through the whole fucking castle.
Yeah, that was cute.
So now, anytime he's trying to get from point A to point B, I just have him make an int check. And depending on how complicated the path is, I increase the DC. And then if he makes it, he knows how to get there from here, in the minimum possible distance. So
do you ever make characters make checks to remember, like, that amount of detail?
Rarely.
It just seems like a lot of detail, you know what I mean?
It
Like,
is,
without keen mind sort of
right,
feat.
which is why it's a check.
Got it.
Yeah.
Alright.
So I think that's Curse of Strahd prep.
You know how nervous Jesse was saying before Frost Maiden?
Yeah.
I'm going to be a fucking wreck on Sunday.
Really?
Yeah.
This is nerve-wracking?
Yeah, because Bayless has actually attempted and succeeded to bond with Irina. They have actually had a character arc.
Yeah. I didn't say it was something he couldn't memorize. I didn't say that.
Yeah. Yeah.
If only the blueprints weren't ash.
Yeah.
That
You can't just carry that shit around.
Just carry that shit around.
Yeah.
I feel like that happened.
Why did no one take Keen Mind?
Because
Keen Mind's like the
it's
best
really good.
feat.
It's very good.
That and Observance, like, fuck. For
Yeah.
any of the high in whatever characters or was. I guess
I think Keen Mind and Observant are both int whiz feats. I know Observant is Keen Mind. Keen Mind might be just an int feat.
I think it's just int, actually.
Yeah, it's just int.
Yeah.
That's why no one took it.
Got it.
Alright. But yeah. So
Gonna
that's
go prepare for my death. DM me any acting inspiration that you have.
Yeah.
You gonna play for Odyssey now?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So thanks everyone for being here. And if you really want to see the session that comes out of this prep, check us out on Sunday at 1 p.m. EST when we play Curse of Strahd episode 19.
Please
I don't know the
support
fucking title
me.
of it. Yeah, please support.
But don't shower me with anything.
Yeah,
like,
please don't. Yeah, please don't do that. Please don't do those things.
No Cheerspirations, no Nat 20s, no. Just, no.
Yeah, please don't.
This needs to work.
There's going to be a lot of drama. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm hoping for this to be a very, very dramatic session. I kind of wish it was session 20. Oh, well. Session 19.
This will get them serious for
but
the ending.
if you're watching us on YouTube, check out our Twitch where we do all of this live. You can interact with the DM prep. You can give ideas. You can get ideas. You can ask for ideas. If you're watching us on Twitch, check out our YouTube where I have all of my DM prep, all of the sessions we've ever played. And then when we play D&D 3 times a week, we've got Saturdays, we have Odyssey of the Dragon Lords at 4 p.m. EST. Sundays, Curse of Strahd at 1 p.m. EST. And Mondays, we have Rime of the Frost Maiden at 6 p.m. EST. And then we've got an Instagram for behind the scenes. We've got a Twitter for the occasional D&D opinion. And we have a Discord community, which is really cool. And it's insanely large. It's like 250 people anymore.
Really?
It's ridiculous. We have a lot of people on our Discord that are having a whole lot of fun talking about our games and their games and just all this other shit.
It's a good place to be.
Yeah. So thank you all for being here. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to get some water. I'm going to go to the bathroom, and I'm going to...
and I'm going to get the fuck out of here.
And Steph's going to get the fuck out of here, because in about 3 to 5 minutes, I'm going to start prepping Odyssey of the Dragon Lords, which she's also a player in, but she's not helping me plot her own death this time. So we'll see you guys in a little bit. Bye.
Bye.